A bone-chilling wind swept through Grimstead, a forsaken village in the Yorkshire Moors. Its cobblestone streets silent under the grey shroud of 2024. At its edge loomed Blackwood Manor, a skeletal relic of cracked stone and shattered windows, its presence a blight on the landscape. This was no ordinary house. It was a predator, waiting with bated breath for its next victim. The story begins with Thomas Reed, a 36-year-old blacksmith who vanished after a dare to explore the manor last month. 3 days later, he staggered home, eyes hollow, and slaughtered his wife and 2 children with a hammer before ending his own life. "It called me," he had rasped to a witness. The village quaked, for this was the 3rd such horror in weeks. James Hartley, a 29-year-old podcaster with a growing YouTube channel, HS Horror Story, had chased shadows since childhood. His fascination with the unknown had earned him a loyal audience, and he'd enlisted his friend Oliver Brooks, a 27-year-old sound engineer, for this venture. "This could be huge for HS Horror Story," James said, packing his recorder into their van. Oliver adjusted his headphones, skeptical. Or another dead end like that cursed barn? But the viral video of Thomas's rampage, raw and blood-streaked, shifted his stance. 3 days then they kill, James muttered, noting the pattern. 5 missing, 3 returned as killers. 2 still lost, Thomas Reed and Simon Walsh. The manor's curse dated to 1889, when Eliza Thornton, a 26-year-old seamstress, was betrayed by her fiancé, Henry Blackwood. Promised love and security, she discovered his plan to murder her for her dowry. On their wedding eve, she fled into the manor, where Henry and his cronies cornered her in the cellar. Her screams faded into silence, her body never found, though villagers swore her wails. Haunt of the night, she lures you with gold or grief, then steals your soul, old Mrs. Agnes Finch warned at the local inn. Henry bound her spirit to the house after his guilt drove him to hang himself. James and Oliver arrived at Blackwood Manor as dusk bled. Into darkness, the moors alive with rustling heather. "Lights on Let's record for S Horror Story," James said, his voice steady despite the cold sweat on his neck. Oliver panned his camera. "Feels like it's breathing." They approached the sagging porch, where a faded plaque read, "Enter and be claimed." Inside, the air was thick with mildew and a faint floral scent, roses, long dead. "Hear that?" James whispered. A soft hum, feminine and mournful, drifted from the shadows. "Come home," it cooed. Oliver froze. "We should leave." But James pressed forward, filming the grand hall, its chandelier dangling like a broken promise. A vision struck Eliza. In a tattered veil, her face streaked with blood, holding a golden ring. "Find my justice," she pleaded, her voice echoing in James's skull. He stumbled, the ring's image burning into his mind. "Did you see her?" he gasped. Oliver nodded, pale. "We're out of here." As they turned, the door slammed shut, the lock clicking with a finality that echoed. "It's alive," Oliver shouted, shoving against the wood. A cold breath grazed James's cheek, Eliza's touch, her voice now a snarl. "You belong to me." They barricaded themselves in a drawing room, the windows rattling as if alive. James reviewed the footage, Eliza's face stark, the ring glinting. Comments on HS Horror Story poured in. "Get out now." But James felt a pull. "We need to check Simon's family, they're next." Simon Walsh, a 34-year-old grocer, had vanished 2 days ago. His daughter, Emily, met them at her cottage, tears streaming. Dad went to the manor, said it promised him Mum's voice. Now he's gone. James vowed to help. Emily recalled Simon's last call. He said a woman sang to him. James's stomach churned. Eliza. Grimstead pulsed with fear. "The house takes them 3 days, then they kill," a farmer muttered. James researched the 1889 tragedy, Eliza's. Disappearance, Henry's suicide, and a cryptic journal entry about a binding ritual. She wants her wedding completed, Oliver theorized, possessing people to recreate her betrayal. The next day, they returned, finding a trapdoor beneath the hearth, its steps descending into darkness. A chant rose, "Hail the bride." Eliza appeared, her veil dripping blood, ring pulsing. "Join my groom," she wailed. James's vision blurred, himself in a tuxedo, Eliza as his bride. "No," he roared, breaking free. Back at their lodgings, James's wrist bore a green scar, searing. "She's marking me," he groaned. Oliver called a seer, Mr. Harold Grayson. The manor's curse is a pact Henry trapped Eliza's spirit to guard his wealth. To free her, return her ring to the crypt. As night fell, Simon returned, eyes vacant, knife raised. The family. James raced to Emily's, tackling Simon as he lunged. "It's not you," he cried. Grayson and Oliver arrived, chanting to expel Eliza. Simon collapsed, freed, but her laughter lingered. More will wait. The curse endured. James, now haunted, swore to end it. Tune in for more every day on HS Horror Stories. Subscribe and share.